North Park artists. This week's visual journaling prompt is going to be relief printing. We're going to be making something similar to this. What do you think I used to create this piece of art? Well, if you guessed leaves, then you are totally correct. I went outside and I collected a whole bunch of leaves to use for this relief print. And you might have done this before, but if you haven't, get excited because it's one of my all-time favorite things to do, especially when I was a kid, and I love doing it now with my kids at home. So the next part of this video, I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can do relief printing, and you could either do what I do and something similar, or if it sparks a new idea, please go ahead and do something completely original. I'd love to see what you guys make. Bye everyone. The first thing you're going to want to do is go outside and collect a whole bunch of different kinds of leaves. Once you've collected your leaves, you're going to organize them face down on a piece of paper. You want to be able to feel the veins of those leaves and plants before you do your next step. Then you're going to take a crayon, make sure the wrapper is off, lay it flat, and go all over your paper. And you want to rub with pretty good pressure. The first one I did is I used a white crayon, and then I took a new piece of paper and did a color crayon. So I can show you two different techniques that we can do when we're adding our color. You have a whole bunch of options when decorating. You could leave it and maybe do multiple colored crayons and not do any watercolor, or you can do a washable marker technique where you add some color. Here I outline the contour of my leaves with different colors, and then I'm adding water in the areas that are the empty spaces and making sure that I then touch the marker with my watercolor. For this part, the white crayon, I'm just using the watercolor I have at home and making sure that I'm covering the surface. And you can see very softly right now, the areas that have the white crayon are resisting the color. You can see the beautiful, subtle details of those leaves that are showing through and showing up. I do really like this technique. Here's just another example. This is a mix between the watercolor and the yellow is actually the marker. Another technique you can do with this leaf printmaking is actually use the shapes of the leaves to create something representational, like an animal or something else you might see in nature. As you're watching me create this composition, what animal do you think I'm making? I had something very specific in mind, and I'm interested to see if you can guess what I'm making. It was a lot of fun trying to organize the different kinds of leaves and make it into something that you might be able to recognize. Can you guess what it is I'm trying to make? If you guessed peacock, then you are absolutely right. I tried to use some different textured leaves to create the feathers that go up and around the peacock. It was really a lot of fun to make. Now you can either take a picture of this and send it in, or you can do the same thing like I showed you before with the crayon and do a rubbing. Now just don't forget that the rubbing might come out a little bit different than what your collage of the leaves came out like. Mine didn't come out exactly like I was hoping it to come out, but it still came out really awesome, and I was excited to see what happened. Once you're done with the crayon, you can leave it like this, or if you'd like to, you can go ahead and do the watercolor techniques that I showed. I hope you have a lot of fun with this leaf printing technique. I always loved doing this as a child and as a kid, and honestly, I still really love doing it today. It's something I can enjoy almost all year round. And I like to see all different kinds of things that I can do with this similar technique.